Trojan Philly. What's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got to have a big boy conversation, a real conversation as to what needs to take place with this USC football program. When you're talking about 3-3 right now, listen, USC can go 9-3 and still finish out strong. Is there a playoff berth at hand? Absolutely not. We're officially eliminated due to the amount of Big Ten losses that we currently have right now. But can we finish out 9-3, and can we finish out maybe a New Year's Six bowl? Maybe, I don't know. But we can possibly finish out strong with a 9-3 season. You guys know I projected 10-2. But look, there is a real conversation that's going on, that's taking place. You guys know I've been bringing it up the past couple of weeks, talking about, and I'm getting ready to show you guys some highlights real quick. I want to show you some things as to why I think we may need to make this move with Jayden Maiava. I've been an advocate of, giving him some packages, but we have yet to see that. We saw him do some scrap time in the Utah State game, but I want to show you something real quick as to why I think this needs to happen. Now, here's some film, and I want you guys to understand. I want you to notice that the line collapses the same way it collapses with Miller Moss. But this is what I'm talking about when you're talking about being able to do some off-schedule things, be able to extend plays with your legs. And as I stated before, I have a Miller Moss shirt, says Miller Time. I wore it on my show. I'm a big Miller guy. I've been pulling for Miller Moss ever since the Louisville game. However, we know the deficiencies of this offensive line. And it's not going to get any better this year. Yes, we have to get it better in the recruiting. Yes, we have to get it better in the offseason, the transfer portal. But there's some things that came up. You guys know, whether it's the NIL, whatever the case may be. USC tried to go after some guys in the transfer portal, but money talks. You guys know that. But what I want to talk about and I want to deal with right now, I want you guys to understand that Jayden Maiava, everybody said to me that Jayden Maiava, he might not have the same IQ as Miller Moss. He throws too many picks. He had 10 picks last year, and he had 3,000 yards passing. However, Miller Moss now has five or six interceptions right now, and so we really have to have a conversation. I think his QBR right now is right at a 60 or something like that. So we really have to have this important conversation. It is not about throwing anybody under the bus. It's about the remaining of the season, because at the end of the day, the recruiting is at hand right now. USC had multiple recruits at this game last weekend versus Penn State. And look, the recruits are still on board, but I think we have to salvage the season. We have not salvage the season. We have to, keep this season up and flowing and be able to finish out strong. And when you're talking about offensive line, yes, they gave Miller some help last week. And I told you guys there was some tackle help coming. They put the running back in back of the tackle. They put the tight end in back of the tackle. And so when the blocks came up, when it was time to block, they were able to buy Miller a little bit more time. However, we saw that Miller was a little bit off last game. We saw that he wasn't accurate. And, of course, everybody points out the Deuce Robinson last play of the game, regulation time, that he missed a 6'6" guy. But to me, it doesn't look like Miller is confident in there like he was in the Louisville game. He doesn't look like he's confident as he was in the LSU game. And it's probably because of the offensive line. It is what it is. It's no knock on him. He's a West Coast football style guy, a pro style guy. I believe that Miller Moss is going to make it to the NFL. But this offense, to me, it doesn't fit him. Lincoln Riley has never had a quarterback that is a stand in the pocket quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Spencer Rattler was even more, I would say, more of a scrambler than Miller Moss. And so when you look at it, like I said, there's no knock. And I think we have to be real with it and the reality of it. And it is what it is. If Miller Moss is given the time, Miller Moss is going to be that guy. We know that. And so when you talk about from a leadership standpoint, Miller Moss is that guy. When you talk about from a locker room standpoint, Miller Moss is that guy. From a paying his dues type of guy, Miller Moss is that guy. But at the end of the day, none of that is going to get us any wins. The only thing that's going to give us wins right now is helping us to have somebody that can extend plays, that can move in a pocket like this, and then can throw. Look, the kid threw for 3,000 yards last year. We're talking about that's one of the best in college football, over 3,000 yards. Yes, he had 10 INTs, but as I stated, right now, given the way the offensive line is playing, Miller Moss has 5. He's on pace right now to have more than 10 right now. And I think we really got to be real. We really got to come to grips and really understand exactly where we at. Now, some will say, Jay, why would Lincoln Riley? I trust Lincoln Riley to play the best players. I do too. But at the end of the day, we saw this last year. There are many players, and we'll take a look at it, many players right now that are not playing that are not necessarily the best players. And I'm just going to give you guys an example. And now here, you get ready to see, this is me recording on Saturday, but this is Desmond Stevens. Desmond Stevens arguably might be the best linebacker, but is he playing in there? No, not necessarily right now, he's not. But what I want you guys to see, and it really, when I saw this, it was eye-opening for me right here. Look at this, Desmond Stevens. He read that defense perfectly, and he was able to get this big-time interception. And this was early on in the game. This was a game-changing play. And so, look, let's just call it like it is. Maybe the best linebacker's not even playing right now. I'm not even just talking about Jayden Maiava, but we just talking about guys that are freshmen that sometimes they feel like the seniors need to be in there. The seniors they pay their dues. And even Mekhi Lemon. Look at him here. I got him on here. Mekhi Lemon, Quinn Joyner. Those guys, Quinn Joyner only had 3 carries. So this whole thing is not just about Miller Moss. It's about, look, play the best player. Now, I'm not saying that Quinn Joyner is better than Woody Marks, but what I am saying is those guys, Woody Marks and Quinn Joyner, are a heck of a 1-2 punch. Those guys should get 50-50 snaps. I mean, that's how good Quinn Joyner was. Quinn Joyner, look, he broke for like 70 yards. He only seen the ball 3 times. What happened with that? And so at the end of the day, this is a coaching issue. This is a Lincoln Riley issue, and I think that he is the head coach, and I think he should address those things. And look, whoever gives us the best chance to win, we have the personnel on this football team to really move and groove. Whether it's Mekhi Lemon, he needs to be in there. The main target as receiver, he's clutch. Whether it's Quinn Joyner getting 50-50 snaps, or whether it's Desmond Stevens playing linebacker. Look, we got talent on the sideline, but we don't just need to have them just sitting there chilling. Look, Jayden Maiava, he's sitting there, and I can tell you this right now, you don't put him in for the rest of this year, I can promise you, do you really think, and Miller can come back next year, so do you really think Jayden Maiava is going to stay at USC right now, and what's happening right now? No, I think we need to put him in ASAP, and I think we need to look to the future. He's younger right now than a guy like Miller Mouse. It's important to look to the future opposed to looking at all these other things. I'm not sure what exactly the coaches are looking at. So hit me in the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. It's USCJ32 on Instagram. It's USCJ32 on Twitter. I'm out of here. Everybody stay blessed. Fight on, fight on, fight on.